Good morning. I want to thank everybody who joins us today. My name is Olha and I'm happy to see you here in Ukraine Media Center Ukraine Forum. Today we will be talking about the presentation of the first in year 2023 program for the support of veteran business, Should Make Your Own. We will be talking about the veteran community. It's been 9 years of the war. Within that period, there was a very powerful veteran movement formed in Ukraine, which is ready to get engaged in development of economy front, opening their businesses and so on. So how will the government support the veterans of war, the families of the perished warriors, opening their businesses? I want to introduce our speakers today. Joining us online will be Maksym Kushnir, General Director of Directorate of Civil Identity and Veteran Development of Ministry of Veteran Affairs. Joining us online is Oleksandra Ogorodnikova, Executive Director at the NATO-Ukraine program. And in the studio, joining us is Ruslana Velychko-Trifonyuk, First Deputy Executive Director of the Ukrainian Veterans Fund, and Oleksandr Kviatkovskyi, Veteran Entrepreneur. Also, we're waiting for Ms. Tetiana Volochai, Director at Charitable Foundation, MHP-Hromadi. Let's start. I would like to start with you, Mr. Maksym. So please present this project to us. Tell us how exactly the state will help our veterans in opening their businesses, in supporting that business, please. Good morning. It's my pleasure to take the first word about this project, and the entrepreneurship is not only an effective instrument of social rehabilitation for the veterans, but it also positively contributes to the return to the civil life and development of the country in general, and such qualities of the veterans as their experience during warfare, their self-discipline, trust to each other, active position in life are the key factors for creation of their own business projects. The support and development of veteran initiatives is one of the key priorities of the Ministry of Veteran Affairs. And in this process, very important are two aspects: legislative aspect and practical aspect. As to the legislative aspect, the team of the Ministry of Veteran Affairs developed a draft law which contemplates such notions as veteran entrepreneurship and veteran entrepreneurship initiatives. Regarding the practical component, we make an accent on implementation of financial instruments that would enable the veterans to develop their businesses. And today we present this joint project of the grant program for the veteran business, implementation of which became possible thanks to the synergy of the big business and the government. That's the first step on which we will not step, and the teams of the Ukrainian Veteran Fund implemented a lot of cases of the support of veteran businesses, and the key purpose of this program, Should Make Your Own, is the support and implementation of veteran business initiatives in the area of agricultural industry and processing. And I think our veterans have great potential and resources for the development of this economic sector. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Maksym. Ms. Oleksandra, are you with us? If you're here with us, please let us know about that. Yes, I'm here with you. Good morning, Ms. Oleksandra. We know we would like to pass the word to you. We know that you support the systemic programs which are aimed at support of our veterans to help them in development of their businesses and in that way to contribute to their recovery, adaptation after the war. So if we may ask a couple of words from you why is this project important to you? Why did you decide to get engaged? Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. It's my pleasure to see everyone here. Greetings to the veteran businessmen and to the future veteran businessmen. I'm not seeing them on the screen, but our technical team is trying to put you on the screen because we're seeing Mr. Maksym and we're not seeing you, but I think it will only take a minute or two. We, as a representative office of NATO and the NATO Office for Transition, we work with the Ministry of Veteran Affairs from the very first days of the creation of the ministry since the year 2018. And within all those years, we support both institutional development of the ministry in a number of directions. Their needs keep changing, but we are always ready to support them. At the same time, one of those important areas that we cooperate in is the support of Ukraine in creation of the system of transition from military career to professional civil career, with a focus on the functions that are integrated into the staff and into the organization of the Ministry of Defense. So we take all that links since enlistment and their growth along the military career and until the very moment of their transition to civil life. So lately we focused our efforts on the issues of mental health for the military and psychological resilience, because all those questions are very important now, and the government of Ukraine addressed us with the request to support specifically that area. So we continue to, and we plan to continue to develop a number of measures aimed at the prompt support and development of competences of psychological resilience with the military, and creation of the holistic system of the psychological support in the sector of defense. And at the same time, we continue to cooperate with the Ministry of Veteran Affairs, and in year 2022 and in 2023 as well, we always are oriented at the needs that are arising as a result of war. And since summer 2022, we implemented the program of expert support in a number of areas, and within the framework of today's event, I want to emphasize that one of such areas is the development of veteran businesses as such. And moreover, 1 month ago, we reinforced that work. And today, there are 2 experts working with the Ministry of Veteran Affairs dealing with the development of veterans' businesses. And I know that there are certain achievements already in that area. I want to thank everybody present here, everybody who organized today's meeting, and everybody who supports the veterans systemically in their transition to civil life. It's a very important thing. And I want to address the veterans themselves. I want to express my gratitude, my appreciation. You were the ones to take up the arms at the moment when the danger emerged, and it is a pleasure to see that people who come back from war, they get engaged in the economic development of the country. They defend us on the other side, defended the economic front. So everybody who is engaged in today's initiatives, all those initiatives being presented here today, I wish everybody success and the soonest victory. Thank you, Ms. Oleksandra. Ms. Tetiana Volochai just joined us, the director at a charitable foundation, MHP-Hromadi. So, Mr. Oleksandr, or Ms. Oleksandra, let's proceed to you and let's start presenting this project. Good morning, everybody. I would like to say, well, let me sort out this remote control here. The presentation is right on the screen. First of all, I would like to emphasize that one of the most prospective areas of Ukrainian economy is the agricultural sector. We've seen this year when we've had certain problems, well, not certain problems, but when the occupied territories were densely mined, all the world got engaged in the solution of a problem with transportation of our issue. Of our transportation of our grain, because everybody understands how important is this sector. So this is the sector that we want to focus on, and we want to provide all the government support to a sector like that. So I want to demonstrate the areas that the fund was funding during previous year. Within last year, we only launched 3 programs, and only starting from October, so we had quite little time. And the agriculture is one of the top 3 projects that were submitted to us. I would also like to emphasize that veteran business is all about stability, because veteran business did not get relocated. They did not relocate their manufacturing capacities abroad. Yes, they got relocated inside Ukraine, but later, after the occupation, they came back, and we provided all the support for the recovery of their manufacturing capacities, and they continue working on the same areas, on the same territories, and they are now already thinking how to demine their territories and how to start working on their land. So these are our plans for the year 2023. We will make 9 contest programs in 6 areas, and we plan to fund more than 170 legal entities and private entrepreneurs and civil organizations. Also, first of all, we would like to emphasize that we've picked the agricultural sector because the sector of defense industry is yet another area for the development of economy of our country, where we may be able to test all of our skills, all of our developments right there in the battlefield, not somewhere in the training ground. And moreover, our veterans, they know what they're doing, and they're professional at that. Should make your own. That's first of all about the transformation of economic and social models, because today agricultural business and food industry are at the threshold of innovations and transformation. The number of people keeps growing, and respectively we need to implement new technologies to somehow make a way around the world famine. Ukraine is positioned first of all as the agro-industrial country. It's no secret to anybody, and that's why specifically in that area is where the innovations will be first of all implemented. I would like to say that we already had one winner who in their activities uses drones. They use drones in their business for working on the land. It's no news. It will be normal when different types of technologies will be used for working on the land, because now it's not important how much land you have and how much land you work on. What's important is the technologies and how efficiently you get them engaged and how efficiently you use your resource. That's why in future we will have to deal with the areas which are familiar to us by their names, but we will witness some unusual application of some new technologies, some new professions in those economic sectors, and veteran business treats all those innovations quite positively, because specifically during the battle operations they were using those innovations, they know how to use them, and they clearly understand the efficiency of those innovations. Should make your own. So we plan to fund 10 business initiatives of the war veterans or the families of the perished veterans that will be funded starting from 500,000 hryvnia up to 1.5 million. And we want to appreciate that we appreciate the participation of such programs as MHP, the Ukrainian companies who stayed in Ukraine. Well, the world for us is not motley now, it's either black and white. Here are friends and here are the enemies, and if we stick together we will be able to win. And we appreciate the input of such companies which will co-fund such government projects and will help to develop and support the economy of Ukraine. That's very important, and also it's necessary to emphasize that we will launch some contests of retraining within the programs of the support of working professions, because now we have to orient for future. We have to understand that we have to rebuild Ukraine. First of all, we want to help the individual entrepreneurs, and thus we will bring them outside the shadow. We will get them registered as private entrepreneurs. I want to say that for example, veterans, they don't pay the unified social contribution. They only pay unified tax, and it should be communicated to them, and they should do their business officially and normally, and we will support it in the first of all, Ms. Ruslana, there will be a couple of questions to you as to the mechanics. We understand that there will be 10 veterans or 10 family of the veterans that may apply for a program. How should they do it? Well, on the 24th of March, there will be a bid or a contest announced. You may find the information about it on the website of Ukrainian Veteran Fund. There will be a banner about this contest program. There is a detailed instruction. I advise everybody to get familiarized with that, because you will have to submit certain certificates. There are links where you can get those certificates, where you can get them notarized, and there will be a plan posted when and what will be happening. It will all be available online, and one of our participants would be able to tell about this procedure better than me, because he went through that, and I'm telling you this like from my vantage point, and he may tell you about this like from inside. All those projects will be evaluated by the experts. The experts are being picked during the contest. They are not employees of MHP or the fund. They are the external experts who are professionals in their area, in their sectors. They evaluate those projects. They provide rating, and according to that rating, we identify the winners. So who got involved in funding? The project is funded. No, it's co-funded by MHP and by state budget. Thank you. Mr. Oleksandr, I cannot help but ask you to pick the microphone and tell you about your experience. First of all, I want to thank you that you devoted part of your life to defense of our homeland. Thank you very much for that. And if I may ask you to share your experience about participation in this program, did you have any complications in launching your business? Thank you very much. First of all, I want to extend my appreciation for the initiatives that are being implemented by Ukrainian Veteran Fund. I was veteran since 2014, 2015. I keep track of the initiatives in this area, both government and non-government, and this is one of the most powerful initiatives that I've seen and where I've been taking part in. And participation in such program and the application for it are quite simple. There are some bureaucratic, just like we all hate all those certificates and paperwork, but it's absolutely real to gather your paperwork within a week and get ready for the application, to submit your application. And it's important for the business itself, for the company, because usually individual entrepreneurs, they do business without certain structure. That there is some market structure that helps you to keep afloat or not to keep afloat, and there are no talks about strategies, visions, goals, phases, programs, and all the necessary attributes for the big projects. And it's important that Ukrainian Veteran Fund in their activity, in their programs, requires it's not like a requirement, but a necessary prerequisite is the structuring of your business. You have to write a plan, you have to break it down into phases, you have to describe your achievable goals, and it's useful just for experience of such work over your business, and besides, it opens you a door for good funding of your business. So you may get 1 million for a small business. It's quite a good investment. And this aid is not subject to return. This is incredible. You can get such an amount and you can invest it into your manufacturing capacities, into necessary instruments that you were dreaming about for a long time, but you were unable to get it because you did not have any start capital. Have you launched your business already? Well, my business is just starting because it's the protection of plants with the agricultural drones, and agricultural season is just about to start. So according to the program, the next month is the beginning of the work. And before that, there was a preparation phase, the acquisition of the necessary equipment, some test missions in the field. So we're just starting. In short, about your business, what is it going to be? So we use a big drone which uses special agents for the protection of the plants to expedite the growth, or to improve the quality of the future harvest, and it's quite efficient because within shortest term and using less resources, it allows you to get better result. Ms. Tetiana, why did your charitable fund decide to support this initiative? Good morning. For us, it's an honor to support veterans because we appreciate a lot what you do in the battlefield, in the air. You keep the armor and you protect Ukraine. And meanwhile, we try to create some centers for the development of micro business in communities and small towns. Our charitable fund, MHP-Hromadi, is the leader in development of local communities and small villages. We work in 12 regions of Ukraine, in 700 settlements, and development of micro businesses is one of our strategic missions, because the mission of a fund is contribution to the unity of the communities, and without micro business you cannot do this. We have experience of such projects since 2014, and we supported 85 business initiatives in 2022 in total amount of 6.5 million hryvnias, and 35 of such initiatives were devoted to food security. It was processing of agricultural products, manufacturing of sweets, meat, cheese, small bakeries, and this year we focus more on food security. Our key donor is MHP, is an international company with Ukrainian roots. They work in the sphere of agricultural innovations, one of the biggest taxpayers in agrarian field, and the topic of support of the military business is quite close for us because we support the military on a daily basis. We support their families. For example, in our company, more than 2,000 of our employees are now in the ranks of the armed forces of Ukraine, and this is why we take care of their adaptation, their transition back to civil life in the communities where they live, where they work. And I want to extend again my appreciation to you veterans that you defend our homeland, and we invite all of you to take part in this contest, should make your own, that we do in partnership with the Ministry of Veteran Affairs of Ukraine and Ukraine Veteran Funds. Dear colleagues, if there are any questions on the floor, please go ahead. Good morning, Svetlana Tkachuk, Ukrinform. I have a couple of questions, and first of all, I would like to ask for the details about the program. Ms. Ruslana mentioned that the agrarian projects are in top 3 of other projects, but what are the other things? What are other top 2 in these top 3? And another question is, what are the criteria that are paid attention to during picking of the leaders? Well, the top 3 are food industry, restaurants, coffee shops, catering, and stuff like that. And other ones are agricultural complex, and another is defense industry complex. How do we pick the leaders? There is a certain methodology which is approved by our supervisory council, which comprises the representatives of Ministry for Veteran Affairs and the representatives of NGOs, including international NGOs. I think that the journalist wants to hear some specific things, like who may use their advantages in being picked as a winner. Well, there is an extensive methodology. It takes several pages. There is a table that is used by those experts, and according to specific criteria they put a mark, and all those, they put a grade, and all those grades, they are sometimes broken down, like it's not complete. For example, for social component, there is like 10 points, and the maximum maybe 80 points. For example, such factors as the injury or the term spent on military service are accounted there. No, all the persons who have a status of veterans may apply to this contest, or the members of the perished veterans, members of the perished veterans' families. So that's why there is no evaluation of who was affected more or less by the war. Only the project is being evaluated, and they are being evaluated. It's like we remove the personality aspect from there. The experts don't know whose project they are evaluating. They only see the project and the budget in front of them. Okay, so I would like to ask for more details. If there is a business who wins that grant, but then they don't make it as a business, do they have to return the money? Well, just like any government institution, we enter into agreement, and respectively we have reporting procedures phase by phase. So the businesses identify their phases, and just like in cooperation with any international organizations, they only get the next tranche after reporting on certain phase. As soon as they report, they receive the next tranche. Obviously, if there is one party which does not comply with their obligations, there are penalties. Any more questions, dear friends? If you need translation, there are headphones behind you.
Hello, Steve Kleiman, Pacific Rex. 2 questions, please. You mentioned that the project is co-funded by MHP and the state budget, and I'm interested if there's any foreign aid coming into this program, either directly or maybe perhaps an earmark in the state budget. And second question, the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs has similar programs, and I'm wondering if the Ministry of Veterans Affairs has had any discussions or partnership with the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs.
Yes, last year we raised funds from Razum for Ukraine. It's an organization which is registered in the United States of America. Also, we are supported by IREX, the crisis hotline, and also we work in support of some projects with different international organizations, and we want to raise funds for support of Ukrainian veterans to the maximum extent possible, and we have money coming from private initiatives. For example, in April there will be a tour in Germany of the belly troop, and they will raise funds for Ukrainian Veteran Fund. Also, we had a number of events in Miami and Los Angeles, and there will be an event going on in Washington, D.C., the fundraising events, during which we raise funds too. Also, yes, we were studying the experience of the United States of America, and yes, we understood that when on the legislative level it was taken in the United States of America, first there was a law about microbusiness and support of microbusinesses, but when the focus was on veterans, this is when it started working, and I think that 3% of the veteran businesses should be either contractors or subcontractors to the big government contracts. Thank you, dear friends. Are there any more questions on the floor? I want to remind all of our veterans and their families of the perished heroes, please take part in this contest. On the 24th of March, the application starts, so please register your business and work together on the economic front for our victory. Thank you for this meeting. I'm reminding you, joining us was Ruslana Velychko-Trifonyuk, Tetiana Volochai, Oleksandr Kviatkovskyi, and joining us online were Maksym Kushnir and Oleksandra Ogorodnikova. Thank you. And also, I would like to wrap up today's press conference by signing an agreement.
Якщо потрібні ще.
If you need more pens, please. Ruslana, well, then a couple of words about the agreement you've just signed. Tell us in brief what kind of document is it and what is it about? Well, it's a standard legal practice. When you have some serious intentions, you sign certain agreement where both parties undertake certain obligations, and that agreement sets forth their obligations, the rights, and so on and so forth. So if someone fails to comply with the obligations, so it's an agreement on your cooperation. Yes, it's not a memorandum, it's an agreement which has some legal consequences. Thank you, dear colleagues, for your interest in this topic, and we continue working together for our victory, and we trust in our armed forces. Glory to Ukraine.